What's going on, my beautiful people? In today's Age of Empires mobile video, I'm going to give you guys one of my favorite pairings or trios in Age of Empires Mobile, because in this game, you don't make your marches with 2 commanders, contrary to similar games. You actually need 3 heroes for 1 march. But of course, that configuration is not going to be the only thing that we're going to discuss in this video, because I want this to be filled with a lot of information. We'll discuss this whole hero screen, what makes a march good, how the hero skills work, and why I think this march is one of the best at this specific moment. And there's something that's going to be super important. There's 1 hero in this configuration, and there is only 1 way to get it as a free-to-play. If you're a spender, it's not a problem, but if you're a free-to-play, that is going to be a massive issue for you. And of course, if you want to download Age of Empires Mobile and try the game yourself, remember, download it, see if you like it. If you don't, you can always delete it. Link will be in the description and pinned comment. So without further ado, let's go.
Spartans! What is your profession?
I'm going to try to be super quick with this whole commander screen or hero screen. If you click on this triple line, you will see the stats of your heroes, and the highest one is going to be the speciality of your hero. For example, for Richard I, might is his main attribute, and then we have armor, strategy, and siege. There is a difference between might and strategy, and the thing is, might, you can think about might and armor is like a double-edged sword. One side of the sword is the damage, which is might. Think of it like a physical damage. And the armor is the other side of that sword, which can reduce the might damage. Then there is strategy. Strategy is a little bit different, because this strategy stat does increase your strategy damage, but it also reduces the damage that you're going to take from the strategy. The one thing that is super important, and not a lot of people mentions it, is that armor does not reduce the strategy damage. So if you can find a really good hero combination that stacks a lot of strategy, not only you'll deal a lot of damage to hero combinations that will stack a lot of armor, but also you will deal a lot of strategy damage and take less strategy damage because you are stacking a lot. And strategy attribute does increase your strategy damage, and it also reduces the strategy damage that you are going to take. I couldn't count how many times that I said strategy damage, but that's basically the main things that you need to know on this one. If you click on this, you can see your hero's speciality troop, and for Richard, it is pikeman. And of course, when you're making your triple hero configuration, you want all 3 heroes to have the speciality for the same troop type, because based on the number of match unit type speciality, the stat bonus is going to be either 5, 10, or 15%, which is massive. So when you're making your 3 hero march, you have to make sure that they all are specialized on leading the same type of units. Then if you click on this banner, I should say, we have the military speciality, and Richard, he is a warrior. The strength in numbers talent activates the military speciality. If you take a look at the talent tree real quick, there we go, strength in numbers, it is the 3rd main talent. And as you can see here, it says 2 heroes. If 2 heroes sharing the same speciality in a troop, they receive 20% bonus for all attributes, which is crazy. And if you go up to 3 heroes sharing the same military specialty, meaning that all 3 is going to be warrior, this means all 3 will have the strength in numbers talent, then this bonus will go up to 30%, which is of course the thing that you should always aim for. Then we have the star level or the rank of your hero, and you can upgrade it with the medals for that specific hero or the universal ones. Of course, for all heroes, your goal should be rank 5. Well, at least the all heroes that you are going to use for PvP battles. There is a level of your hero. It is pretty straightforward. You just upgrade them by using some XP tomes. And one major thing I want to mention is of course the hero skills. Now, how these skills work is quite different compared to similar games, and I guess that is one of the main things what makes Age of Empires Mobile very special and unique. The first one, the one on the left, is your commander skill, and the reason why this is so important is because only the primary commander on your triple hero lineup is going to activate their commander skills. And then in each hero we have one more skill that cannot be changed, that is simply just predetermined for your selected hero. For Richard, for example, it is the Lionheart skill, or for Leonidas, it is the Unyielding Soul. So this second skill will always be predetermined for each hero. And then we have the 3rd and the 4th skill. Now these are very different, because if you click on the more skill section, you see that you have a bunch of alternatives to use in these 2 specific slots. So your first skill, your commander skill, will only get activated if that hero is specifically the primary on your army. And your second skill is always predetermined. And your 3rd and the 4th one, we have the epic versions and we have the legendary ones. Sometimes, not always, but still, epics can actually be a little bit better than legendary. So when you are selecting your skills for these 2 slots, don't just select one because you have unlocked the legendary. you use the correct one that synergizes with your army. Now let's briefly talk about the march that I wanted to showcase. It's going to be Richard, Leonidas, and for a while you are going to use Joan of Arc, and then when you can, you are going to switch your Joan of Arc to Frederick Barbarossa. Now this is the hero that I want you to pay super close attention because there is only one way to get it if you're free to play. Yes, I know Joan of Arc is also a legendary pikeman, which really on paper synergizes really well with Leonidas and Richard. However, Joan of Arc is just as a hero, a simply way worse, or I should say Frederick is just way better than Joan of Arc. Now here's the only way to get Frederick as a free to play. If we take a look at the current event, as you can see, we have this legendary advent. This is basically like similar to Wheel of Fortune events in other games. We have two options. We can either select El Cid or Sun Tzu. However, even though these two are our only options on paper, if we take a look at the milestone chests, at level 20 you get 10 medals for the hero that you selected. But at 60, in this legendary advent specifically, you can select Tariq medals instead of Cid, and at 120, you can select Bushra. However, on the Richard I wheel, if you go up to 60 spins, then this option is going to be Frederick Barbarossa. So this is going to be for you the only way. Getting the Richard wheel to 60 and selecting Frederick is going to be, at least at this moment, for now, is going to be the only way to get Frederick as a free-to-play. So please pay attention to that. It is going to be super crucial because if you simply just compare two, there's a night and day difference between Joan of Arc and Frederick. Why do I think this combination, since I don't have Frederick right now because I messed it up, as I said, this is super important. I'll have to spend for it, and I will. I'm just going to use Joan of Arc for this example, but the reason why this works so well is because, number one, of course, all three are specialized at leading pikemen. All three has the same military specialty, which is warrior, and pikemen in general, you could call them like the porcupines of Age of Empires Mobile. And in the early days of any similar game, there are going to be a lot of players with, lack of knowledge and not knowing which marches to target. And these type of hero combinations get insane benefit from that lack of knowledge because all they want is taking damage. If you're taking damage, if you are getting targeted with your Richard, Leonidas, and Frederick, and very later on, you can actually switch to Boudica. Instead of Frederick, you can use Boudica. It will be a lot less tankier, but will deal a lot more damage. But the idea and the purpose stays the same. That hero configuration and using pikemen is going to be super nice because a lot of people is going to hit you, and that is exactly what you want because these heroes, all three, are amazing when it comes to counterattacking. So that's why I think specifically at the start of the game, in at least for a couple years, this high counterattack damage march that benefits from the lack of knowledge is going to be super nice. And of course, if you're a free to play, you cannot get Leonidas because you need to spend a little bit for Leonidas. You need to spend $1 to summon him. So what you can do is you can again use Joan of Arc, or as I said later on, you can do like Richard, Frederick, and Boudica and just not use Leonidas. But if you decide to spend $1 in Age of Empires Mobile, that is definitely worth it. In my opinion, this pikeman, this counterattack synergy is really good, especially when people are not sure which marches to target or they don't know how this whole open field fighting works. Hope you guys liked it, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want more Age of Empires videos, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And to download the game, link will be in the description and pinned comment. I see you on the next video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.